Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain about Elegam diagrams. This is there in the metallurgy chapter. Remaining concept, beginning extraction of iron and all, that. What I wanted to explain about is Elegam diagram. Regarding Elegam diagram, once they asked in NEET exam in 2018, out of 10 years, once they ask one question based on the Elegam diagram. See what you have to understand from the Elegam diagram. Elegam diagram means this is Elegam diagram. Okay, what is that? It is a change in delta Z naught versus temperature. Okay, so generally this Elegam diagram official definition is that it is a plot or a graph of change in free energy with temperature. This is Elegam diagram basically depends upon Gibbs equation. Delta Z naught is equal to delta H naught minus T delta S naught. See what you have to understand that. So no need to practice entire diagram. Just you should have an idea how the lines are drawn. That is based on the delta S value. Main thing is based on the change in entropy. How entropy is affecting for delta Z naught you see here. See for some reactions we have delta S naught negative. In this Elegam diagram whatever the oxides are forming, their maximum is for delta S naught is negative only. So what happens if the delta S naught is negative? Here you see that this is delta S naught. Delta S naught is this. Delta S naught negative. So negative becomes positive. So delta Z naught is equal to delta H naught plus T delta S naught. So then what happens with the increase in temperature? So with the increase in temperature, all the values, see with the increase in temperature is positive. So delta Z naught increases with increase in temperature. So that is why for various metal oxides or non-metal oxides, delta Z naught value increases with increase in temperature. Some are there like we have carbon monoxide formation. For that delta S naught is positive. So then what happens? Delta Z naught is equal to delta H naught minus T delta S naught. So what happens with increase in temperature? Negative value increases, delta Z naught value decreases. So suppose delta S naught remains constant, means for that depends upon the reaction, depends upon the equation. Some equations are there where delta S naught is remaining constant, that is delta S naught is equal to S2 minus S1. Delta S naught is equal to S2 minus S1 will be there. So for some reactions or some equation delta S naught remains constant. So if the delta S naught remains constant, then delta Z naught also remains constant only. Like that. I'll give an example. This one you see that. These are all for the formation of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Okay. Look at this. Look at this equation. First one, this is second one, this is third one. In the first one, what we are observing that carbon monoxide gas reacting with an oxygen gas, formation of carbon dioxide. Here, product side we have 2, reactant side we have 3. So delta S naught remains negative. Because delta S naught is equal to S2 minus S1, S1 is greater than S2, so delta S naught remains negative. Second one, Second one, you see that here delta S naught is constant. This equation I am talking. Carbon solid reacting with the O2 gas, formation of carbon dioxide gas. So delta S naught remaining constant. If delta S naught remains constant, delta Z naught also remains constant. That is the way you see this line is parallel to the x-axis, that is temperature. So with increase in temperature, delta Z naught remains constant. Okay, third one, you see that third one, the slope is in downward direction. Slope is in downward direction in the sense the line is coming down. With increase in temperature, delta Z naught value is decreasing. Why? You see here in this equation, carbon monoxide gas is there in the product side. Left hand side we have O2 gas. 2 moles of carbon monoxide gas we have. 1 mole of O2 gas we have. That becomes 2 minus 1. Delta S naught is positive. With delta, if the delta S naught remains positive, then what happens? Delta Z naught value decreases. So what we have to understand from this is, for any reaction, for any equation, if the delta S naught is negative, the lines are like this, like this. Suppose for any reaction, if the delta S is constant, delta S naught is constant, then lines are like this. Suppose delta S naught is positive, they are in downward direction. Okay. So that is what I have explained. Elegant diagram using Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Conditions you have to see. What happens with the delta S naught? Delta S naught is negative means what happens? Delta S naught is positive means what happens? If delta S remains constant means what happens, you understood by using carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide formations. Okay. Now this is entire diagram. So much bigger one it is. No need to practice. Again, I'm telling you that no need to practice entire things. Entire elegant diagram, it is not so easy also, because left hand side we have delta Z naught and the temperatures and all matters here. Delta Z naught matters here. Okay. But what I want to give overall opinion about this elegant diagram is that generally for maximum oxides, the delta Z naught value is increasing with the increase in temperatures only. Only for this you see that carbon monoxide, only for the carbon monoxide you see this line is in downward direction, and for the formation of carbon dioxide this is parallel to the x-axis, that is temperature. Remaining all are increasing only. That is characteristics of the elegant diagram. What are the uses of studying this elegant diagram is, main important thing is the one metal oxide. This elegant diagram is actually started for the to know the best reducing agent, for reducing a metal oxide into respective metal, So you can see in the elegant diagram, what is the main application of the elegant diagram is that the below metal oxides metal reduces above metal oxide into respective metal. I repeat, the below metal oxide metal reduces above metal oxide into respective metal. That is a main application we can see here. See in the elegant diagram, you see whatever it is, like aluminum is there in the down. Aluminum can reduces above metal oxide, like titanium oxide we have. zinc oxide we have, iron oxide we have, copper oxide we have. All these things can be reduced by using below metal. What concept says that the one metal oxide which is having low delta Z naught value can reduces the one metal oxide into respective metal which is having more delta Z naught value. Which is having more delta Z naught value. Means, see, if you want to reduce this upper area metal oxide into metal, you can use this below metal oxides metal you can use this. So suppose I am getting a doubt, I wanted to reduce a metal oxide into respective metal. If then I have to refer Elegam diagram. See one example, I want to reduce upper portion, we see that here we have one copper we have. I wanted to reduce copper oxide into copper. Which metal I have to take? Then if I am looking at the Elegam diagram, which are lying down, you see that here we have a calcium, we have a magnesium, we have aluminium, we have zirconium. All these metals can be used to reduce copper oxide into copper. So I repeat again, the one metal oxide which is having low delta Z naught value, its metal can reduces above metal oxide into respective metal. That is the main application of having Elegam diagram concept. Okay, that is the main thing. And the second one, you see here, in this area, this is one silver oxide we have. We have silver oxide here. We have silver oxide here. Silver oxide and mercuric oxide also it is there in that, it is not visible here. Silver oxide and mercuric oxides are unstable at higher temperature. At this temperature you see that. It means that to reduce silver oxide into silver, mercuric oxide into mercury, no need to have any reducing agent. If you heat little more, then automatically they get reduces into respective metal. I am not telling this one, Elegam diagram is telling this one. Silver oxide can be reduces into silver, mercuric oxide can be reduces into mercury at higher temperatures only, at higher temperatures. Why? Because these metal oxides are having positive delta Z naught value. See here, this is 0. You can see that above this what we have, all are positive values, all are having positive delta Z naught values. Concept says that the one metal oxide which is having positive delta Z naught value, it is unstable. It is unstable. So no need to have reducing agent for the reduction of silver oxide into silver, mercuric oxide into mercury. Right. So this concept, this Elegam diagram is helpful to select a best reducing agent. One more point what I want to tell that, sir, you said that to reduce copper oxide into copper, you can use these metals below calcium oxide, magnesium oxide. These things we can use. Calcium oxide we have, magnesium oxide we have, aluminum oxide. Which is better then? Where more larger area will be there, delta Z naught value. Larger the delta Z naught difference, better is the reducing agent. So, to reduce copper oxide into copper, calcium is better than magnesium. Why? The delta Z naught value is more. Okay. So, and one more thing here regarding reduction of hematite ore into iron, we are having reducing agents. We can use carbon as well as carbon monoxides. At lower temperature, carbon monoxide behaves as a reducing agent. At higher temperature, carbon behaves as a reducing agent. Why it is like that? See here, at lower temperature, this is at lower temperature, carbon monoxide delta Z naught value is less than the for the formation of iron oxide. Hence, carbon monoxide is serve as a beta reducing agent. At higher temperature, this line, at higher temperature what happens? You see this line? This line is lying down the formation of iron oxide. Actually, iron oxide is not shown here. Somewhere iron oxide will come here like this, ferric oxide. The line is lying below this ferric oxide. Therefore, at higher temperature, carbon can be used as a reducing agents. So, students, if you know this much regarding Elegam diagram means sufficient. Okay, so your job is what? So, you make a list of metal oxides which are there in the Elegam diagram, or if you know the Elegam diagram directly like this serial wise, if you know also, no problem. The asked question is which can be used. One metal oxide they have given to reduce so and so metal oxide. Which metal oxide can be used? So they have given 4 options. Below 4 options you have to select one which is lying down. Like this question they may ask in the competitive exams. Okay. Suppose if you have any doubts, you can ask any doubt regarding Elegam diagram regarding this chapter to WhatsApp number. Thank you.